My favorite perfume brand of all time is the House of Amouage, and I officially own 15 bottles. Amouage has the most high quality, complex, and most unique blends I've ever seen in a perfume brand, and that is why they're my favorite of all time. In this video, I'm not going to rank, but I'm just going to talk very briefly about all of my perfumes from Amouage, and the first one is Overture Man. In Overture Man, there's this rich cognac note in the opening with warm spices and smoky woods that immediately feels luxurious. As it begins to dry down, you get this leather and amber with a slightly animalic warmth that keeps evolving for hours. It's incredibly complex and feels almost cinematic. Overture will last about 18 hours and project very largely, so I would go about 3 to 4 sprays on this perfume. Next up is Search, and it's one of the newer Amouage releases, and it feels a lot brighter than some of their darker fragrances. Search opens with this huge burst of citrus, like lemon and lime, but underneath that you get some smoky incense and warm woods. The contrast between the bright citrus and the darker base makes it really interesting, and it feels energetic but still very much like Amouage. Don't be fooled by this being a citrus fragrance. It's very strong and it lasts a long time, so I would stick to 4 to 6 sprays even in the summer. Next up is Honor Man, and it is a clean, spicy, and extremely elegant perfume from the House of Amouage. It opens with a blast of pepper and incense that gives you this crisp, slightly smoky character. As it begins to dry down, you get smooth woods and a soft warmth that makes it feel very refined and regal, but there's also a very nice chewy and sweet resin to this perfume. Honor Man is such a beautiful perfume because it's one of the easiest Amouages to wear, but it does not give up on any of that complexity or quality that Amouage is known for. Next up is Boundless, which is warm, spicy, and incredibly comforting. Boundless opens with cardamom and spices that immediately feel rich and inviting. Then tobacco, vanilla, and resins start to blend together to create this warm, cozy sweetness. To put it shortly, this is Amouage's take on a tobacco and vanilla DNA, and Amouage does it the best that anyone has ever done it. This has the best vanilla note I've ever smelled and has almost a Dr. Pepper fizziness that makes it so addictive. Next up, we have Interlude Man, which is probably the most iconic perfume that Amouage has ever created. Interlude opens with an explosion of smoky incense, oregano, and dark resins that almost feels chaotic and overwhelming, but in the best possible way. As Interlude Man begins to dry down, the smoke and the oregano begins to tone down, and the resins create this vanillic warmth and depth that lasts for hours and hours on end. Interlude Man is completely unforgettable, and is one of the best Amouage perfumes to check out when you're getting into the brand because it showcases everything that Amouage does to the best of its abilities. Next up is Epic Man, which has an epic title for an epic fragrance. Epic Man is built around incense, myrrh, spices, and smoky woods that creates this deep and mysterious atmosphere. It almost feels like an old temple or an exotic spice market somewhere far away. The resins and the incense stay present throughout the entire life of the perfume, slowly becoming smoother and warmer on the skin. Epic Man is sometimes referred to as the little brother of Interlude Man, but it's so much more than that. It's incredibly distinctive, and it's smooth, and it's regal, and it's everything that you would want from a perfume from the House of Amouage. The newer batches aren't too strong, but for a scent profile like this, you don't need it to be. Now we have the most misunderstood Amouage fragrance of all time, and this is Reckless Leather. Reckless Leather is savory and spicy beyond what most people can handle. It smells like cumin, paprika, and black pepper, and it's way too intense for most people that encounter it. However, there's this very weird creamy sweetness coming from almost a coleslaw type of vibe, which is very off-putting to some people, but it's so unique, so distinctive, and so interesting of a perfume. The leather is paired with a very unique animalic oud, which makes everything a little bit challenging, which is why so many people dislike this perfume. Next up, we have Interlude 53, which is a 53% oil concentrate of the original Interlude Man. When you spray Interlude 53, everything feels deeper, darker, and richer than the original. The incense becomes thicker and more resinous, the amber feels almost syrupy, and the smoky character lasts basically the entire day. And let me tell you, this thing is a beast. Interlude 53 lasts about 24 to 30 hours on skin, and weeks, maybe even months on clothes. It will last through washes, it will last through showers, it will last through everything, and this is one of the most regal and most interesting perfumes ever crafted. Next up is Amouage Enclave, and this is all about contrast. Enclave opens with a blast of spearmint that feels icy, fresh, almost cold, but really sweet and sugary at the same time. However, underneath that freshness, there are smoky resins and warm amber notes waiting to emerge. The longer Enclave sits on your skin, the more amber, resins, and smoky qualities come out to this perfume. So as a quick recap, Enclave opens up very minty, and that piercing, sharp, and sweet sugary mint dries down into a resinous, deep amber base that is very modern. Next up is Interlude Black Iris, which is the last of the interludes on this list. With Interlude Black Iris, the smoky incense and dark resins are very present and still there, but the iris introduces this beautiful powdery softness that changes the whole atmosphere of the perfume. The iris here is less floral and gives off more of a green stemminess. The smoky incense and resins combined with that green stemminess gives off almost a burning grass accord, which is a little bit off-putting to my nose, but I love this perfume and I would rebuy it any day of the week. Next up is Amouage's Silver Oud, which is one of the most intense and daring perfumes Amouage has ever put out. The oud in this fragrance is dark, smoky, and extremely animalic, surrounded by deep woods and incense, but also has this very creamy vanilla sitting there in the base. It's extremely powerful and not trying to be mass appealing at all, and instead it feels like a pure expression of luxurious oud perfumery. It's mysterious, dark, and incredibly bold, and this is the kind of fragrance that really shows the artistic side of the house of Amouage. Silver Oud smells very fecal to some people because of that Assam Oud note from the region of India, and that is one thing that in Silver Oud, as well as King Blue from the house of Amouage, is very challenging and hard to palate for most people. However, if your nose can palate that Assam Oud, then this is one of the best and most luxurious oud perfumes on the entire market right now, and you need to get your nose on it. Next up is what, in my opinion, is the greatest rose fragrance in the entire world. This is Amouage's Rose Incense. The rose here is deep, red, saturated, and very jammy with a very sugary aspect. There are lots of resins, there's lots of ink in here, and this is just such a beautiful fragrance. To paint a picture in your head, imagine the most saturated red rose you can think of, and imagine black ink being poured over the rose. Combine that with the sweetest and most powdery vanilla, and put that all in an old cathedral, and that is really similar to what this perfume smells like. Next up is Amouage Meander, and this is one of the most artistic and slept on Amouage perfumes. Meander has this earthy, almost mineral character created by carrot seed, iris, and incense. Meander is one of the most calm and atmospheric perfumes I have ever smelled. It feels like standing in a quiet mountain landscape, surrounded by fog and wind. It's subtle, reflective, and incredibly unique. Meander is the best perfume for spring. Spring isn't always about sunshine and flowers. A lot of it is cool, cloudy, and rainy days where the air smells earthy and fresh. Meander encapsulates that feeling perfectly with this earthiness and soft, slightly damp atmosphere. It smells like walking outside after a light rain when everything feels calm and natural. Next up is Journeyman, which is spicy, smoky, and slightly sweet all at the same time. Journeyman opens with a Sichuan pepper note and cardamom, which creates this vibrant and spicy energy. As the perfume develops, tobacco leaf, incense, and leather start to emerge and create this warm and mysterious atmosphere. Like every single Amouage, it's smooth, addictive, and incredibly well blended. The combination between tobacco leaf and Sichuan pepper makes this perfume feel gourmand in a savory way. Almost like a Chick-fil-A sauce or something along those lines, but in the most wearable and luxurious way. This is either discontinued or on the verge of being discontinued, so definitely go check it out now. And last but definitely not least, we have the Beast Royal Tobacco. Royal Tobacco is the richest and most luxurious tobacco fragrance I've ever smelled, and that's coming from just talking about Journeyman. It opens with a powerful blend of spices and resins that immediately feels opulent. It is extremely ashy and smoky, and there is an almost tongue-tickling licorice note. This almost smells like if someone is eating black licorice and smoking a cigar, and they accidentally knock the cigar over into a box of wood, and it starts to burn the wood and char it. There's also some green earthiness and spiciness that rounds everything out. And there's a little bit of that Indian Assam Oud from Silver Oud that gives it a little bit of an animalic funk. Let me know in the comments below which bottle is your favorite and which perfume is your favorite if you've smelled any of them.